This episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. For the Bell family, basketball is everything. But can they navigate the game of life together? Based on Kwame Alexander's critically acclaimed best-selling novel and narrated by Daveed Diggs, The Crossover. Streaming Wednesday, April 5th, only on Disney Plus.
Scott for Scott's here. You ever want to grow new grass faster? Kind of like when you press the 2x playback button on your podcast so you can speed through episodes. Except at Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass, you're speeding your way from a thin and damaged lawn to a thicker, stronger one in just weeks. Bit too fast, maybe slow it down, okay? Let's just go back to normal speed.
Get a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass today. It grows grass 2 times faster than seed alone when applied at the new lawn rate, subject to proper care.
Feed your lawn. Feed it.
Honest, passionate, and doesn't pull any punches. It's Paladino Joey on the Purple Mafia Show, here on thesportstuff.com. Welcome to the family, here on Purple Mafia. I'm your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Purple Mafia is available on thesportstuff.com and on iTunes. I thank each and every one of you always for downloading and listening to this show. Would like to welcome you back for some more January football talk. Dylan Richardson, founder and CEO of thesportstuff.com, is back again on Purple Mafia.
I'm back again. Thank you, Joy, for having me on the show. And in this show, we're going to preview this awesome game that's happening this week. It's called the AFC versus the NFC in the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
They're playing for the I don't give a shit trophy.
That's about it.
It's just a step down from the Lombardi as far as I'm concerned.
Just a step down. It's the only thing good about it is we feel nice for the guys that made it, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
we feel good for them.
You get to play in a game where you can only defend and cover 1 or cover 2. Mm-hmm. You can only rush 4. You can only not block a kick. You can only have fun if you're on offense, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And enjoy the weather.
No. I guess so. I guess. Is it back in Hawaii? I don't even pay attention to it anymore. Wasn't it last year they had it in New York?
Yeah, pretty sure it's in Hawaii again. And I admittedly don't pay attention either. I'm not like one of the people who's dropping F-bombs like, oh, we don't care about your effing Pro Bowl. I'm not that pissed about it, like that it exists. I mean, I like the fact that guys get a chance to, celebrate their wonderful season. So I'm not that, annoyed at the Pro Bowl's existence. But at the same time, most All-Star games, I've completely feigned interest, even the NBA All-Star game, which I used to cherish.
Except for baseball, it's played for something.
That one's still fairly interesting, and yes, it's played for home field advantage in the World Series, which is pretty funny.
I know, it makes you really want to vote right for that,
Mm-hmm.
But
yep.
the NFL Pro Bowl has always been real. Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to say hit and miss, but it's just mostly miss. Yeah. Just because no one's going to be blowing out their knee. They're not. You might get a couple of hits. It's nice to celebrate your season, but you know what I think they should do? I think this would be a good idea, is do like a skills thing. Like, I know that they mm-hmm. do some skills, but just make it like a total skills thing, like, passing, I don't know, through a tire, 40-yard dash, who's the fastest man in the NFL, who's the fastest offensive tackle, or, something like, I don't know.
I kind of like that.
The game is cool,
yeah, but
God, I don't know. It's kind of just, it's kind of like watching, the Patriots play the Colts in an AFC Championship game.
Yeah, just about. That's a wonderful segue. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a familiar sound effect, right?
Still the fourth quarter? Wow.
Yep.
Just imagine though, if you fell asleep and say it like, if I fell asleep at like halftime and I woke up after like the third quarter and be like, what happened?
Yeah. And it'd be like,
the game is over.
Yep. 21 points in the third quarter. It was slightly interesting early on, but then again, was it? I mean, the The Patriots, yeah. The Indianapolis Colts early in the second quarter made it 14-7. Like they got the 7 finally. And, well, that was kind of it after that. It stayed fairly close in the first half, but you could just tell pretty much from the get-go who was going to win this game. And I felt, I guess I'm going to stay undefeated for the postseason until one more game. Yeah.
Right?
And,
one more game.
One more game, and I'm knocking on wood.
One hell of a season for you so far, Joey. Undefeated in the playoffs.
It's unbelievable. I'm like the 2007 Patriots, hopefully $72. Well, okay, I don't want to say those guys. Let's see the 2015 or 14 Patriots will be the that's the hope. I'm knocking on wood here. See if I can be undefeated with the Patriots, which they should have been that year, but they just weren't because they just weren't. I mean, we'll get to that preview soon. As to why I think this could be different this time, I hope.
45-7, man.
Yeah, 45-7. It was a just a warm up, I guess, for the next week, I suppose. Okay, I'm sounding really cocky now.
I'm channeling in my inner Charles Barkley. Hold on, just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, have a sip here.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. Yep. It was
terrible. Most definitely terrible. So, LeGarrette Blount, did he not look like an unstoppable Steven Jackson? Holy cow. That guy was beast mode all over the field. It's like, where did this guy come from?
I guess from the Steelers. I guess.
Yeah, right?
I mean, after he dropped the blunt. Oh, whoops.
Oh, yeah.
The blunt dropped the blunt?
He dropped 3 blunts in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
3 touchdowns. The guy was all over the field, 148 yards rushing. He averaged almost 5 yards a carry, and he was just a steamboat through.
If he does anything similar to that in the next week, Patriots are in very, very good shape.
Yeah, they can just go into like New York Giants mode. They just, hand him the ball. Oh, left, right, up the middle. Here you go, Otis Anderson. LeGarrette Blount.
Oh yes, yep. That was the '86 Giants, right?
No, or the one afterwards with the Jeff Hostetler.
Yeah, 1990. Sorry, yep. The good old 90 one.
After Phil Simms went to crap.
Mm-hmm. And a certain kicker couldn't even make a 21-yard field goal. Oh, could you imagine? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that
he
Bills,
was special.
Mm-hmm. That Bills team was awesome, and that was the curse of the Bills after that. The poor guys.
It's funny because he's you know what? Norwood is actually the regular season, the equivalent to Peyton Manning, except for in the postseason, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just thought about that.
Like awesome.
Nothing. It would be awesome throughout the regular season. You get him a Super Bowl, wide right.
Mm-hmm. Gary Anderson.
Wide left.
Yep.
That was
It was utter BS, wasn't it?
That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. And with this said, I mean the Colts, ultimately I do think, like I said last show, they're a team on the rise. They're taking the steps up, and like I was hinting at in the last show, this was the ceiling for this season. You
said something very interesting. I don't know if you said it on the show or if it was just when we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you compare the Colts a lot to the Ravens, where they took the stair steps. The first year they made the playoffs. The next year they won a wild card game. The next year, they won. Yeah, exactly. And I'm starting to really think the same way that you are with this, Joey, because. It's just what it's looking like, because Andrew Luck and these Colts,
they're coming. Yeah,
they are.
They're coming, and this is kind of eerily similar to the 2008 AFC Championship game for Baltimore. Do you remember how they got to the third round and then they ran into Pittsburgh, and they looked like crap against the Pittsburgh Steelers in that game. It's just because they just weren't ready yet, and the other team was extremely ready, which I think the destiny's on the same side of the Patriots that it was on the Steelers that time around. I mean, it's just they ran into a buzzsaw. And the weather sucked. And Luck just did not look like he was up for it for whatever reason. It just wasn't his day. Deflated footballs. Do you buy that really much?
No, I don't.
The deflated
Come
foot. Yeah, that's just like they just want to like. Nobody wants the Patriots to win, do they? It's like every time, like no matter what they do, any time of success, any form of success, what's next? They cut the grass too low or what? I mean, I don't know.
It's always going to be something.
Mm-hmm. They cut the grass low so Richard Sherman could blow out his knee or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
what's next?
that's the attempt. They actually they purposely put the hangers down at a lower position, just in Richard Sherman's, so he can hurt his elbow. That's all. Right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. They did it, yep, and they went all the way to Seattle to do it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, we'll just do this. Yeah, so we're going to be playing them in a couple weeks, so here we go.
Mm-hmm. It sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Deflated.
It's viable. I mean, we're talking about Bill Belichick, the most winningest coach in the postseason in history.
Mm-hmm.
Got his 21st victory.
Yeah. Man, oh man, 6th Super Bowl appearance, unheard of. When you consider coach and quarterback are on the same, the same sideline of all 6 of them, that's unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. You usually hear that over like a team of the span of 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And
no kid.
And we're talking a good team. Where the Vikings they had a nice history, and they've had some good runs, but they've been around for 51 years. No, more than that even already. Gosh, we're already talking like 53 years, and they've been to 4 Super Bowls. So think about that. That is just insane when you put that together. We're talking a team that made this. They started this run after September 11th. I mean that's nuts. When you think about that, it's like that's pretty successful.
And every year they're competitive.
Every year they're competitive.
Just like we said in one of the other episodes, every year, doesn't matter who they lose, somehow, some way, somehow, they're in the mix.
Some way, someday, right? No, that song, but
whether it's Bledsoe,
Bledsoe, yep.
Whether it's Brady, whether it's Castle, whether it's they're in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember Bledsoe helped them in that AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh. Because Brady hurt his ankle, came back for the Super Bowl with a sore ankle, and still got it done.
Most definitely. I don't know what it is, man, but they get this team, they get it in gear, and it seems like almost every year they at least make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the only year they didn't was because Brady in the season opener had an ACL. That was quite depressing, and they still finished 11-5, by the way.
Yeah, and they almost, that's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're always competitive.
Always, yep. And they were like the best team. It's got to be the best team in history to miss the playoffs because they didn't even make it with an 11-5 record.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy. And then you can have a team that's like, got 6 wins make it in.
Yeah,
7,
8, and 7.
That's happened a couple times now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and advanced, which is really funny.
In advance past the first round twice.
Mm-hmm. Seattle did it to New Orleans. Yep.
Amazing. So
amazing.
Back to the task at hand. This is another learning experience for these Baltimore Colts.
Baltimore Colts. Yep. Basically. Yeah. Yep.
They're kind of like the Baltimore Colts, right?
Mm-hmm. You see the connection too, don't you?
Yes, most definitely.
Yep. The Baltimore Colts. I mean. Just like the old school team and the new school team, all that good stuff. It's they're on the way. They'll get to the Super Bowl. We'll see if they win, how many they'll win. I do think the ceiling for Andrew Luck is a championship, and we'll see how many. But the ceiling is a Super Bowl championship, for Andrew Luck at some point.
I think he's going to get it done in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
agree.
They
got everything leaning that way. Everything's looking good. And barring severe injury, old boy is a straight winner. So
yeah, big time. Well coached, great defense as well. They need who knows, maybe Adrian Peterson will be on their sidelines next year. You never know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Just tossing it out there, just to toss.
It would be something. If I was the Indianapolis Colts, I would make a phone call. Yeah, I would see what's going on. So, and then Adrian would probably love that. I would think. A chance.
Either that, or wonder if Adrian would be a new Raider, a new Jack Del Rio acquisition.
Yep, Jack Del Rio. Yeah, that's a good coach and everything. I just hope I just hope this is finally the one for that organization. It's been quite the curse. Since,
if he doesn't win this year, then I'm sure he'll be fired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, 1 year.
You can't even get any traction with that. Anyways, that's a whole 40 minutes I could do on that stupid team.
Raider Nation, yep.
You can't be firing coach. You got to let someone get traction in there, Yeah, it takes time. But anyways.
Yes, it does. And very briefly, or however long you'd like to talk about this, John Fox is your head coach in Chicago. Yes.
Yes.
John Fox, you did get him.
It's funny. It's the first time that the Bears they actually hired one of the names.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they don't go for names. Usually, as you saw, we're going to go for Trustman.
It's like, wait,
Smith.
What? Yeah, Jim.
Usually they don't go for the big names.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, even with Mike Ditka,
Yep.
That was kind of out of nowhere. But anyways.
Kind of building from within.
We'll see.
Yep.
The guy's a good coach. He's been successful in Denver. Granted they had Peyton Manning, but he's been successful elsewhere as well. So
yeah. I
like the pick. I like that I know who the guy is too. I don't have to go and look at Wikipedia and find out, this guy's, coached the Red Raiders for, 14 years and I give a shit.
Yeah. Say, who again?
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, look, he's won a Division III championship 4 years in a row in the NCAA. Okay. Right on, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yay, you. But anyways, it's someone that I recognize. I could put a face to him immediately. You just say the name and I know who the hell you're talking about. So that's a nice thing there. And, being successful. Anyways, we're sidetracked.
Yep. Oh, no, it's okay, though, because I figure, you're a Bears fan, and we'd like to hear your thoughts about the hiring. And I do think it's a good one. I have no idea why the conglomerate on the Facebook page were unimpressed with it. I'm like, really? Really? I don't know. I don't agree with them. They're like, he's a loser. Who did you guys want? Belichick? You know what I mean? Gosh.
Yeah,
good luck,
Kind of a small pool out there, and he's probably one of the most, reputable ones that are on that list.
Yeah, I think he's damn good.
The only other thing that I would have liked to have seen is possibly like a Mike Singletary, or one of the old timers coming back, But I'm nostalgic for stuff like that. I love that. The whole time Singletary was a 49er coach, I looked at him and just started thinking, I'm like, you traitor, son of a bitch.
Yeah, in the whole 80s, yeah.
I guess, you could have been a Packer coach, you would have been more, but...
Mm-hmm. Might have been worse. Yeah, like the whole 80s, who were pretty much the two out of maybe 3 or 4 best teams in the NFC. It was the Bears and the Niners, so the other two being the Giants and the Deadskins, so... Yeah, so I can understand just a little bit of angst towards the two organizations in that case. And now, speaking of angst towards an organization, it's the one team you just mentioned, the Green Bay Slackers and the Seattle Sea Chickens. Yeah, this was...
Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen,
yeah.
I'd like to applaud the efforts of the Seattle Seahawks, and thank you for having the foresight of going for that 2-point conversion, because I would have been pissed if Green Bay would have won that game off of a stupid field goal like that. Anyways, you both couldn't have lost, so one of you had to win, and it might as well not be the Green Bay Packers. So whoever is playing against them, and beat them, good for you.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I mean, and I can't stand either team. I can't stand either team. But yes, somebody had to win, and the last thing we need is Packer fans in our ears for the next, God knows. Even though I do think they wouldn't win, but I don't think they would have won the Super Bowl if they made it. But maybe. I mean, they beat the Steelers, for crying out loud.
I'd say like the last 5 minutes of that game was like the game. That was that might have been the best playoff football game there in the last 5 minutes. If you just count the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle had to kick an onside kick in order to stay alive, and they got it, man. They got it. I'm like, holy cow. It was almost like the team of destiny, which was the 99... Was it? Yeah, 99 Tennessee Titans.
Oh, the Tennessee Titans. Yep.
They almost won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but
stopped it at the
the home run throwback.
Mm-hmm.
They did that in the I think it was the wild card game, and then boom, 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 boom.
Oh, that's right.
Games.
Yep, I remember that now. And then they went all the way to the and they lost at the goal line.
Yeah, they lost by a yard.
Well,
to be fair, they might have tied it.
That's what would have happened. They would have tied it, and then who knows? But yeah, once you saw this game go into overtime, there was no doubt it was going to win because the whole momentum swing. There was no stopping the freight train. With that said, the start of the game, Green Bay. This is the theme of this entire game right here. Green Bay should have been up 31-0 easily.
Yeah,
easily. And they didn't
choked.
do it. Yep, they didn't do it.
They choked in the red zone. Actually,
and they
were one of them was like the 1 yard line, wasn't it?
Yeah, then they elected to kick the field goal. That's the controversial call that everybody's, ranting and raving about throughout the world of football.
Hey, fire your coach. Fire the whole coaching staff.
Yeah,
just do it.
The Boston Red Sox did that. After like they left Pedro Martinez in too long in Game 7 of the ALCS. Similar situation. They fired their manager and they came back the next year and won the World Series. So, because they got Francona, who was better anyway. But
well, here's the thing: they were getting afraid. Pedro's got to go out there and beat up an old man every once in a while. So, some old guys in the crowd at that point that were really looking.
Oh, that was funny. That too.
Looking fierce. So they left him in there just in case some old guys wanted to fight. You could say "Ole," you know what I mean? Ole!
That was funny. The little pit bull, right? Don Zimmer running out to attack. Was it Pedro? Right? Yeah. That was the play you're thinking about, right?
Just grabbed him by the back of the head and said, "Ole!"
That's so funny.
I think it was a bullfighter.
Yep, he was a bull.
But this was a fantastic game, though. I mean, especially leading into the snooze fest that was,
Yeah, it was a bipolar game. It was bipolar. The Seattle were all depressed because the sun came out. I like the sun, so I would have probably played great in that. But once the rain came and the other side of things, yeah, the sun was out, so the vampires were melting into the ground. But it kind of got a little darker again, and then there you go. Seattle kind of came back to life. The vampires started coming back.
But didn't you know, so Seattle went up by the 3 miraculously. That was a Rex Grossman pass. I'm surprised it didn't get picked off.
Oh my God!
I mean, it was up in the air for had a hang time of 5 seconds. And as you know, all those cornerbacks can get sideline to sideline in less than 5 seconds. You've all seen their 40 times. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
4 3s, 4 4s. Jeez. And I first off, I love saying the guy's name. Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix.
It actually was a prospect for the Bears. But they wound up passing.
I do remember, yeah. He was projected to go there even in the, all those mock drafts. He was in a lot of them to go to Chicago.
Yeah, I wanted other people, but anyway.
Yep, after that.
I always want other people. You know what? I want the big name sometime. Just every 5 drafts, just give me the big name, would you, please?
Unless it's
the big
Jay
name
Cutler.
was available. The big name was available. He was available damn near to the second round. I just wanted the one guy that could maybe make a difference. But anyway, I digress. We're back onto the Packers.
That play, God Almighty.
So So yeah, that took like 5 seconds for the ball to come down and score the 2-point conversion. But didn't you have like a feeling? I know that I had a feeling. I'm like, that goddamn Rodgers going to drive this team down. They're going to kick a field goal. It's going to overtime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just going to happen. It just like it just, I don't know. It's like that, kind of like when you have someone's name on the tip of your tongue, like Aaron Rodgers, like coinciding with the, word bastard, son of a bitch, It's kind of like that. But I knew, I was like, oh, thank God that they're up by more than 2 points, that they're up by 3, because I know that son of a bitch is going to drive them down there and score. Some way he's going to score. It's going to. I mean, he can get them to the 30-yard line. They're going to score,
regardless of how sloppy he was. Yeah, I mean, it was going to happen, and he did. And it's another opportunity that they couldn't get in the end zone. They could have. They had a chance to, but it just wasn't going to work out. It just wasn't their day. There was not enough time left on the clock. There were a lot of plays where they stayed in bounds and such too. That wasn't good. Oh, Seattle. Just the way they ran. They just, one pass after another started being a completion after Russell Wilson looked like Christian Ponder meets Tavares Jackson out there. I mean, he looked like Tavares Jackson because he had a better arm than Ponder on some of those like undisciplined plays throughout the entire game. And that 4th interception, Green Bay's in the Super Bowl to me. Green Bay is in the Super Bowl even though they screwed up and not scoring like probably, like I said, twice as many points as they did in the first half. I mean, they went up with only 16 points. They should have been up 31-0. This game had 41 donut written all over it to me, with the way Seattle was playing. Like the old Vikings 41 donut. Or 2000 against the New York Giants. It just reeked of it. And imagine that in your house when you're the defending champion, which the Vikings weren't, and they weren't at home either. So that would have been worse. Oh. But you just give them life, Green Bay. You just gave them life. That's what you did.
Let them stick around. Yep. And that last touchdown run by Marshawn Lynch was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he went
for a guy that's looking at both sidelines at the same time, for him to be able to make that run like that, that's such a jerk.
It was nuts. Yeah, he literally went ape out there. Like they gave him the ball and he was just through. He went from when they started giving him the ball, it was like, my goodness, why didn't they do that earlier? I suppose, right? Instead of start throwing all these crazy like deep passes that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Oh my goodness, Joey! I just looked at the average. It's 6.3 yards per carry. Wow!
I'm staring at that right now too. Yeah, because he went right through. He looked like Terrell Davis, except like larger. He looked like
I knew that he did good, but I didn't know he did that good. 6.3. Damn.
Yeah, because like that whole fourth quarter, it's just hand off the ball, and it was boom, like 25 yards later.
Who do you think he is, Jim Brown?
In that game, yeah. At least in the moments there, yeah. And back to that 2-point conversion, which ultimately was the moment of destiny for the Seahawks. That's when you just knew, like, this Green Bay's not going to win now, and it was like the luckiest play ever when you think about it. Because when you see it was the luckiest play ever and it's on Clinton Dix for what the hell? How can you not stop a duck like that? I mean, that thing was quacking. I mean, that was a duck.
It was almost like he tripped over the chalk line or his own feet, or maybe a shoe was slightly tighter than the other, or something was weird. It's almost like he tripped over his own feet, like, He
looked like Cedric Griffin out there. That's how bad he looked. Cedric Griffin couldn't guard anybody after the ACLs. Pardon me for being mean about that, but yeah. Could not guard his mama. Could not. And on that play, that was Cedric Griffin making a comeback. Or who's the other guy? Chris Cook.
Oh.
What a pile of caca. He couldn't guard anybody. He couldn't guard his grandma. He couldn't guard Abraham Lincoln's grandma.
Now, Grandmama, that's a different story.
Ooh, that guy, yeah. Yep, the guy with the gap between the teeth. That guy. That Grandmama.
LJ.
Yep.
Larry Johnson.
You come strong or you don't come at all. No.
That's right.
That was.
I was just talking to someone the other day. I know. Here we go. Getting sidetracked. I'm doing it, by the way. So I'll take the blame for it. It's like, man, I really wish the NCAA basketball was as fun as it was with UNLV running Rebels. I mean, that was an awesome team. It was just a dunk fest all day. And it's like, wow. And if they lost, you'd be like, wow, what happened? Did half the team die?
Yeah, they were like
what happened?
Powerful, just power all over the place. And here in Minnesota, we're related to that team a little bit, right? Because of old JR Jr. Isaiah Ryder.
Yeah.
That son of a gun. Dunking between the legs, right?
Yeah, he was. That guy had some skills too. I'm reminiscent of some of those old days. But
that was Marshawn Lynch on there. That was Marshawn Lynch's version of it on the field.
The only guy on the field that can look at both sidelines at the same time.
Yeah, basically. That's unbelievable. Oh.
I'm such a jerk. I know. I'm such a jerk.
Power back.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, right?
Power back with a major stigmatism.
Yep. Basically, yep.
Don't you ever look at his picture and you're like, how can this guy run straight, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
This guy's looking at the sky and then looking at his shoelaces, man. What's
that's
going
weird. Oh, yep. I see what you mean. Yep. Yep.
Look at.
Poor guy.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I'll stop being a jerk.
And speaking of that again, 4th and 1, just to rehash that very quickly. Power backs, yeah, when you have 2 of them in Green Bay, again, 4th and 1. Come on now. That was stupid. So it went from a possible 2000 Viking type of game for the Seahawks, and it turned into a 2009 Vikings game for the Packers, where it was literally, you had it. You had the game won like 17 times, and you didn't win the game. You just didn't win the game. So they know how 2009 felt here in Minnesota, except for obviously the heart-wrenching interception. There wasn't a play like that or too many men in the field, but it was a trillion other things that you could say were just as devastating. So there you go, Green Bay. Now you know how we feel.
Yeah.
Nana, boo-boo.
Yeah.
And I still hate the frickin' Seahawks. And if anybody says go Seahawks this week, I'm gonna they need to stay away from me because they know who my second favorite team is, and ever since they lost the 2007 Super Bowl and the 2011 Super Bowl, that hunger is getting crazy hungry right now, and it's those Seahawks with their big mouth and now they have another big mouth, that Baldwin guy. Starting to remind me of that Who Dat garbage.
Who dat?
Oh. 2 words I hate with a passion for so many reasons.
The Seahawks are taking their 12th man to the Super Bowl.
Those sons of biscuits.
Yeah, no kidding. Those Fargan ice holes.
Those Fargan ice holes, yep. Fargo ice. Okay, I'm just teasing. Yeah, that's where they're going. One thing I might want to do different on this show versus the others, I might want to split the reviews and previews. So I think I will, I'm going to turn this into 2 segments, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get the tall grass ad in there, and then have the Amazon and the tall grass kind of split up. It's just better that way. Yeah. All right, so we will take a quick break, unless you have any more to say about this game.
No, I'm happy Green Bay lost.
Mm-hmm. It was a terribly played game for the longest time, and then it went ape bleep at the end because the drama and all that good stuff. That's pretty much the theme right there. And of course, the fake field goal is a huge thing. That's what got the Seattle Mariners on the board. No, I'm just kidding. The Seattle Mariners.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't help it. The Seattle Seahawks on the board. Fake field goal is a big thing. Stuff like that is going to kill you. It just is. It's backbreaking. I'm sounding almost like I was cheering for the Packers, but it's just a feeling. It's just kind of bringing back some of that Viking pain. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. I didn't necessarily. Yeah, I didn't want them to win, but I didn't want Seattle to win either, type of thing. It's like a unit, like a I hate them both equally, per se. Maybe Green Bay slightly more because of their fan base is closer and more obnoxious. But that's about it. Mm. Both of their players are obnoxious, by the way. And yeah, okay. Yeah, I hate them. I hated the way Randall Cobb acted after his first down against Dallas, by the way. That was classy.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Asshole.
Well,
I was pissed. I was cussing so bad.
I like that. Joey just cussed. I love it.
Yep. That asshole. Yeah. Have to have a New York accent to do it justice.
Forget about his fugazi. That's what it was.
He's an asshole, that guy. No, or he's horrible.
That gay.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of you saw the game, you saw what happened. It was what it was. Another historical game that will go down. It'll go down in history. But the best part is, neither of these teams is going to win the Super Bowl anyway. That's the best part. Okay, maybe I'll be dead wrong. Who knows? After the whole Team of Destiny BS.
Yeah, who knows?
But if you want to be like quick about it, like they're just judging on the way all the teams performed over the weekend, one looked the best. That doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it means a little bit. We'll see.
We will see.
Okay, so with that, we will take a quick break and come right back for the Super Bowl preview. Winter and snow are back again. Nothing tastes better this time of year than Vanilla Bean Buffalo Sweat by Tallgrass Beer from Manhattan, Kansas. This Vanilla Bean edition of Buffalo Sweat literally warms your innards in this outstanding stout with that warming vanilla kick. Don't forget to try 8-Bit Pale Ale, the official beer of this podcast. When you see Pac-Man licking his chops, you found an amazing can and an even better beer. Check out the many other wonderful beers Tallgrass offers on their website at www.tallgrassbeer.com. Use their beer locator to see what's available in your area. You can follow Tallgrass on Twitter at TallgrassMN and like them on Facebook. Simply search for Tallgrass, Minnesota. Tallgrass Beer, bringing people together over a beer since 2007. Too busy to sit in front of a computer? Simply download Purple Mafia on iTunes for Apple devices. For Android, download the Double Twist app, and for Windows and BlackBerry phones, simply find us in the store. And now, back to Paladino Joey. And we are back here on Purple Mafia. It is the preview segment, so yes, I did break things up. Just thought it would be a good idea. This is what we've been waiting for, the biggest game of the year, once again. And the prediction that I have been sticking with for a while. I am undefeated in postseason, which I bragged enough about. I got to stop it. Here they are, Seahawks, Patriots, Seahawks. I like to say Patriots, Seahawks. That just sounds better. Because I'm cruel and selfish. This is it. Where do we go from here other than boycotting the halftime show like I always do?
Oh.
I'm so bad.
There's so many different options now, too. I mean, YouTube's coming up with one, and there's always the Puppy Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'll take that over that. Ugh.
So like this is
show.
This is Super Bowl XLIX.
Yes, it's big. Okay.
Yes. It's XLIX.
XLIX.
XL.
Extra large. I'm not sure. Indiana X for next year? I don't know. Oh, I'm so goofy.
Indiana Xerxes. I don't know. Whatever.
Indiana Xerxes in the house.
Xerxes.
You want me to start, or would you like to?
Go for it. Go for it. The floor is yours.
It's been a while. It's been a while for the Patriots to. Well, I mean, it's been a while for the Patriots to be winning a Super Bowl. Seattle won it last year. They look like they were certainly a team of destiny last year, and nobody could really deny it. And Denver's first snap of the game was a sure indicator of who was going to win that game. It was a complete momentum killer to even start a game. I mean, you don't start a game worse than that with that many people watching. It's just going to knock everyone's confidence down to the floor, depending on who you are, I suppose. The Patriots, it's been, I mean, it's like, where do I even start with this one? But they look like a team that is so hungry, so ready to finally end this drought of Super Bowl championships. They look like a team that is absolutely on the ball, and they've been on the ball since they arrived in TCF Bank Stadium. They started out the season terribly. Fans across the NFL world were questioning Tom Brady after the Kansas City game. They're like, boy, he sucks now. Is Tom Brady done? This and that. And, of course, Jimmy Garoppolo was drafted. So, I mean, you got to look at the future. All that good stuff. But then week 3, they come to TCF Bank Stadium. The Vikings looked okay. They were 1-1 to start off the season. They looked okay. And then got absolutely throttled by a team by a team that everybody thought was kind of like, you know, they went to the AFC Championship all these years in a row. I think they're out of gas now. They're done. They throttled the Vikings, and they never looked back again, did they? They never looked back again. So we could safely say, if the New England Patriots do go on to win the Super Bowl, the road to the Super Bowl started in TCF Bank Stadium, didn't it?
That is a long reach, my
That's
friend.
a long reach, yep.
That is a good reach, though.
Yep.
I do like that reach.
If they win, I mean, shoot, they're one game away from doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Stacking both these teams up, they're both 12 and 4.
Yep.
And there's a lot of similarities, but you know, something that just popped out to me was, oh my goodness, only 151 yards short Russell Wilson was of being a 1,000-yard rusher this season.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
And only on 118 attempts.
He was such a deadly weapon with that running when he finally stopped like chucking the ball up until like the last play of the game, which was a crazy good play. Crazy good play to the same guy that was a part of his 4 interceptions. So it's kind of almost like rehashing that one. But then again, there's nothing wrong with that when you're talking about the Super Bowl. There's nothing wrong with gauging their performance the week before, or 2 weeks before, whatever you want to say. When he started running the ball, Green Bay was dead. And obviously when they handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, Green Bay was dead. His feet are going to be a huge problem in this one. Definitely, without a doubt. Another huge key, though, that I was going to jump into of why I do believe the Patriots can win this game. Well, what was the biggest problem when the New York Giants beat the Patriots? It was the defensive line. I mean, Tom Brady was getting attacked the entire game, and right now that offensive line looks fantastic so far. So there's only one more game for them to play, and they've been fantastic to date. So if Tom Brady's protected, I think the Patriots win this game.
I'm thinking that the Patriots are going to win this game, especially with the elevated play of LeGarrette Blount last game. Holy cow, that guy, like I said before, it looked like a young Steven Jackson, an unstoppable Steven Jackson with the Predator hair going on.
And kind of he even looked like you said, like another beast mode. So
yeah, exactly.
They can come back with another super powerful running back that can get in the end zone too. Not only like bust through for a first down, but obviously a touchdown as well.
Yeah, no kidding, because that guy is a rolling beast. And he looks like a left tackle that's carrying the ball. The guy is just balling through things. And once again, New England Patriots they find that right person to plug in there to get things done. And here they are again.
Yep, and obviously the Darrelle Revis is a way to kind of, obviously the whole fear of with Tom Brady or any quarterback, you have Mr. Big Mouth, number 25, Richard Sherman, who's injured right now, or hurt, we'll say hurt. Injured is when you can't play, but hurt is when you can play, but you're hurt. So it's like a separated shoulder. But then you also have Darrelle Revis on the other side. He didn't look so hot against Baltimore, but the fact the Patriots survived Baltimore and just an absolute onslaught of Baltimore, that makes them look good as well. So you do have Darrelle Revis to counter, to counter what Richard Sherman is on the other sideline, to possibly be a threat to our favorite guy, Russell Wilson.
It could be the battle of two islands, right? Revis Island and, Sherman Island.
Sherman Island, yeah.
Very well could be.
General Sherman. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so, I mean, after that showing, it's really hard not to pick New England because they just destroyed the Colts, which is a fantastic team.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they may not be as good as, say, a Green Bay, but still.
Mm-hmm. They're up there.
Still means I win. Yeah, but still means I win. That's how you always win an argument and say, yeah, but still, then you win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look like the team of destiny this year. The Seahawks did get it last year and all that good stuff. That doesn't mean they can't do it this year, but Russell Wilson looks beatable. He does.
He really does. I mean, if you're forcing him to throw the ball, it's definitely not a strong suit. If they're able to put pressure on him and put it on him early, you might be able to get some mistakes going and, just rolling with that.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest fear my biggest fear for the Patriots in this one would be obviously both men's legs. that being Russell Wilson's and Marshawn Lynch. That's how Seattle would win the game, I believe.
Seattle's strong suit's going to be on the ground.
Yep.
Whether or not they're going to be able to get that done, we will see.
Yep.
Marshawn Lynch is definitely a, all or nothing type back. Either he's fantastic or
he stinks.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always talk about like, oh, Marshawn Lynch not going to be back next year. Why would he not be back? He had a good year, Why do people hate him? They're like, oh, because when he's looking at you, he's not really looking at you. He's looking at the people behind you and one to the right.
He's a weird dude. He is a weird dude. That's why I call him Marshawn Lynch. I just call him that. I know it's kind of childish, but it is what it is.
He's the Debo. He's the Debo of the NFL.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, I'm such a jerk, Joey. I don't deserve to be on your show. Oh my goodness, I'm being such a jerk.
Oh no, I'm not that nice.
I'm picking on him. I am bullying Marshawn Lynch from hundreds of miles away from him.
Well, hey, he bullies the media too with his "I appreciate that, I appreciate that, I appreciate that."
His one-word answers and
It's like, come on.
You know what? Actually, I don't apologize because I think he deserves it now.
I appreciate
Jerk.
that. Yep.
Jerk.
Jackass. And then the other guy who just spews hate. I mean, pride comes before a fall, like I said earlier this year, and it seemed like everybody was terrified to respond to that. I have no idea why. I have no idea. That being Richard Sherman, I said pride comes before a fall, and hey, if he loses on center stage, I was right, doggone it.
Well, I mean, you are undefeated so far this playoff season, Joey, so I think that I might have to actually follow suit, but I better put my pick in before you do, so it's not copying. I believe New England Patriots are going to win this game just like you do. I know you do. I know you coming in this. I know you do. Part of it is also rooting with my heart. I know this could. I think this is the last hurrah for the Patriots.
Yeah.
I think this is it. They're done for a little bit after this one. I say that now, but
who knows?
Who the hell? Next year, who knows? I mean, it's just one thing after another. They just turn out fantastic seasons.
Yeah.
But I think this is the window closing. This is the last Brady Super Bowl right here. I think he gets it done.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways they are the San Antonio Spurs of football. Where every time you think they're done, it's like, oh my God, they're back again. What the hell? And also the other huge, gigantic, gargantuan key. Not only was the defensive line a huge, big problem for Tom Brady the last two times against the Giants, but a certain tight end. Well, one of them was thinking about the murders he committed, so he wasn't catching passes. And the other guy, allegedly, sorry, and the other guy was as usual hurt, and God knows what. And that's Gronk, who's going to be really deadly, I think, for for any defense. Regardless how good the defense is, Gronk is a huge threat. And the trickery of Bill Belichick. I think he outcoaches another really good coach, the second best coach in football probably right now, regardless if we love him or hate him. He's probably the second best coach in football. So, it's going to be a hell of a game, I do believe, but I think the team that's just a little bit better is going to win this one. The team that's just a little bit hungrier, too.
I think so. Mm-hmm. Do you have a score in mind? I have a score in mind already.
Oh, boy. It's like, dare I go high or low here? Probably slightly on the higher end. Slightly. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, I keep flashing it in my head. It's there. I see it perfectly. But it's like I'm afraid to say it because it sounds kind of on the high end, but I'll say
Hey, you know what? Yep. This is your year. You're undefeated this year. Mm-hmm. Joey, you've got the scores pretty close. I think you're allowed, if you're gonna pick a blowout.
Oh no.
I think you're kind of allowed to, have free reign. I mean, you've had a fantastic year picking them, so.
Well, what's been flashing in front of my face is 31-27.
Ooh,
which is close. I want to say 31-21. That might be more realistic. But I don't know. It's probably going to be pretty close, but with the New England Patriots hoisting Lombardi for the fourth time. So I'll stick with the 27 for now. Because it's flashing in front of my face. It's just, it's in neon lights.
You know which one is for me, it's going to be 24-17.
Okay, yeah.
I like the Patriots, 24-17. Mm-hmm. 3 touchdowns and a field goal, that should be enough to get it done.
Yeah, because Seattle, I mean, that's why I'm afraid to say 27, but it's just I get this vibe they're going to, somehow they're going to score because of the running. But the Patriots will outscore them. Yep.
I'm going to go on more of a limb. I'm going to say LeGarrette Blount scores 2 of those touchdowns and gets the Super Bowl MVP.
That would be a very fascinating, cool thing.
Now, that is on an island right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, if he does do that, he will definitely be the MVP, and they will definitely win the game too.
I think people should just bow down to me if that does happen for me predicting it.
Yeah, he's the X factor. The 2 running backs are the X factor in this one. I mean, definitely. They are the X factor in this game, the running backs. And Tom Brady is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. Sorry, all of you that are so obsessed with the new generation.
He may not have the wheels, but you know what? He does have better skills. Mm-hmm. Oh, I made it rhyme.
Oh, yeah. And he's just looked so confident when players were coming at him, even against Baltimore. He looked like he was he looked more unflappable than he did against the Giants, that's for sure. So, in years past, it's like something's different about him right now than we saw the other years when he just got flustered a bit from those defensive lines in the past. It's just he's just like in screw it mode. We're winning it this year regardless. If you think we deflated footballs, or we spied on the Rams, or we made it rain, or we may I won't even go too far in some other crazy stuff, but
they made it rain touchdowns. That's what they did.
Yeah,
they're the best. Like these touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I like the Patriots. There's no secret out there, but this is me talking objectively. That's why I have the score very close, and that's also why. Ultimately, they're the best team in the world right now. That's the way I see it. I mean, the best team in the world is who's going to win the Super Bowl. So that's who won last year. Seattle they were far and away, miles away, as good as the Denver Broncos regular season was. And I'm sorry out there, Gerald. I'm sorry. See, that's his Patriots are the Broncos, and God, I love, like I always say, I love the team in the late '90s. Like I love that team to death back then. But I mean, Manning is not as likable as Elway, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. At least, yeah.
The comeback kid. No, sorry.
that he was.
Oh, how could you not like that? I mean, that guy had so many. That guy had balls.
Yeah, so Seattle, ironically, you were talking about John Elway, has a chance to do back-to-back, which very few teams have done. Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting. They'll have their shot.
Mm-hmm. It's like they'll definitely have a shot. I think it's going to be kind of like, look, the game that keeps flashing in my face right now is the Broncos and the Packers in 97, where it'll be pretty close, but the Broncos will outlast the defending champions. In this case, the
I'm such a
Patriots.
jerk. I just thought of something else. There's a part in that.
Go ahead.
In that game, and you already know where I'm going, where Terrell Davis says that he can't see.
Yep.
I could just see Marshawn Lynch being like, nothing happened to Marshawn Lynch. He's like, I can't see. Like, well, put on your goddamn glasses then, guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Marshawn.
I'm so bad. I'm bad. Okay, I'm done.
Lynch.
I'm done talking crap on Marshawn Lynch. He's a great running back.
Marshawn Lynch. No,
just wish that he'd have LASIK.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, man.
Anyway.
Good thing he's not a wide receiver. Okay, I didn't say that. So he's cool, right? Or a quarterback.
All right, I'm done with that, Joey. I'm done with that.
I think Christian Ponder could... Okay, I'll stop. Christian Ponder's going to go to the Seahawks, though. Watch. Because everybody from the Vikings goes to the Seahawks. I'm not bitter, though.
They do. They do.
That's why I hate them so bleeping much, because they always come back and like try to talk all this stuff. But then
it's the same thing, like with the Oakland A's. That's just the farm team for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, yep. Jason Giambi, yep.
All of them. I mean, even Reggie Jackson.
Yep, Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, I think even Canseco wound up there at one point, and then also, I mean, Henderson.
I guess he went to the A's, didn't he?
Both Hendersons went there, Dave and Ricky.
That's messed up, isn't it? Though
both of them.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
It's too much. Except for Terry Steinbach. No, he came to Minnesota. Yes. Came home to New Ulm, right?
Good ball player, though.
Oh yeah, I love Terry Steinbach, and yep, New Ulm is where Sebastian Balls lives right now. So, and my aunt lives there too. Actually, a nice little German town.
Oh, German town, you say, huh?
Yeah, Shells Brewery.
Where they sell everything, including the Wiener and the Schnitzel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
And Bratenkraut. Okay, sorry, that's like Minnesota accent. Bratenkraut. No, I'm just kidding. Kraut.
Bratenkraut, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I like that little town. It's kind of, it's very quiet and nice. And Gary Kubiak is the Broncos coach. Okay, there we go.
Boom, boom.
Dun, dun, dun. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, it comes to, like we've been saying, the best team is going to win this game. And right now, from the way I see it, not just because I like them, but because that's the way I see it, if I really thought Seattle was the best team in the world, if I really objectively saw them as the best team in the world, I would pick them to win this game. But right now, they're not the best team. They're the second best team in football. So we're getting the legitimate best two teams. That's why I picked both of them to make it. And the number one team since week 3 is going to win the Super Bowl, and that's the Patriots.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Just by a different score.
Yep, just by a different score, and that's how it goes. The score is never going to be the same. It's like ordering pizza, so... What? You like
no
pepperoni?
Anchovies. Mm-hmm. I want no anchovies on this Super Bowl.
No anchovies, okay? No, okay.
Nah.
Michelangelo, Turtles 1, right?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, the movie, the first movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. How do we get to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? We're talking about New England.
Because of pizza and anchovies.
I know, but how we get it? How did we get there?
Sorry,
it's like when you're on YouTube and then all of a sudden out of nowhere you're watching videos where no one's speaking English.
Yep.
At all. And you're like, wait, did I just get lost?
Yep.
Somehow I got lost.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
I think some of the people do like that because
it's just having a little fun.
I mean, because
reminiscing too a little bit on something that we love.
If you want straight stat lines, I mean, you could go to ESPN. If you want some humor and someone talking some crap, that's when you come to us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyone could spew out stats, but when it comes to being perfect throughout the playoffs,
I mean,
come to Joey.
Yep. like I did with Baltimore. I don't think I was perfect, but I picked the champion. And this year, I'm I'm thinking I'm going to be undefeated. I hope so. I've been knocking on wood the whole night, so no jinxing, damn it.
I think you're going to be undefeated too. I
can't believe it.
I mean, it's not like the Seahawks are playing at home, so
that's the other huge key. I mean, there's something about that place. It's just the Seattle Seahawks win. End of story. Regardless if they're down by 16 or they should have been down by 31. The fact was they didn't go down by 31 because the Packers were scared. That's what it was. They were scared. Damn it.
They were scared.
They were scared. They were scared of that Seahawks. They were scared of those clouds hanging over that stadium. The undefeated clouds.
The only cloud that it was the trash that was their season, so they can bag it up.
Mm-hmm.
Take it home into their new stadium.
Yep, the Waste Management where it's green and gold. Yeah, yep. That's their new stadium.
Crackable roof. I love that picture.
Isn't it cool?
Love it. That is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's been around for like 5 years, but today was the first time I seen it. I was like, oh yeah. So
it works.
What we're talking about is a trash receptacle that's green and yellow, and it says, "Hey, look, the Packers have a new stadium with a retractable dome."
Mm-hmm. Sponsored by Waste Management.
Love it.
Isn't that cool?
Love it.
So with that, you probably get the gist of where we're headed in the Super Bowl and why. With that, I mean, any final thoughts you may have before we jump into fan interaction? Mm-hmm.
It's been a fun season. I can't wait for next year for both of our teams.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, both of our teams are just battling it out. Because I would love to see. I'd love to see the Packers be last one year.
It's time.
It's time.
I
would love to see the three bigs battling, Vikings, Lions, and Bears.
Oh my. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said it. Yep. The only team missing is the Detroit Tigers. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be lots of fun. I'm optimistic about next season for both our teams, and the Vikings are going to be looking good too because now they're going to know what they're going to have out of the gate. No surprises.
Mm-hmm.
No surprises, no switches coming off the tree,
Mm-hmm.
no allegations of this and that.
Mm-hmm.
No surprise. There's no sex boat cruises that we know about that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Randy Moss toking some weed with 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like this going on right now.
And there's no mediocre quarterback leading the way until hopefully the guy we drafted is ready. Because the guy we drafted is ready. Yes.
Isn't that a familiar story though? Didn't that happen last time too? Right? I mean, is this the same story over and over and over?
Well, at least from the ponder, they finally approached the NFL with they finally approached the whole situation with a long-term approach, hoping they draft the right quarterback, and hopefully this is it, rather than having to do those quick fixes a million times, which weren't successful. Brent Jacobson talks about that in the call you guys are about to hear. So
here's the thing, hope springs eternal, but it don't win championships. So
no,
boom, take that. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Want another one?
I want another one.
You want, sir? May I have another? No, you sucked in the regular season, so go home. No, but I'm really optimistic for both of our teams, and hopefully they're number 1 and number 2, and both making the playoffs, and hopefully they meet in the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
That's what I've been really waiting for a long time, Joey.
That would be fun.
Because that would be. I mean, we could be at each other's necks on one of these shows. We could be cursing one another out. I think there would be a couple listeners that would actually enjoy that, right?
Are you telling me that Jay Cutler's going to throw?
It's not going to happen. Yep. Let me tell you, Matt Forte is going to stop a mud hole in their ass.
Don't do it, Dylan. Don't do it. Okay, I'm just kidding. You know who that is. Yep. Shout out to Jim Towers. Shout out to Jim Towers. Yes.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah, and that'll bring back the 80s again, where the Bears and Vikings were going at it, and the Packers sucked. Yeah, let's bring the 80s back.
The Glenn Dickey years. Yes!
No, I'm kidding. It's like, who's that again? No. Right?
Exactly. Who was that?
I'm so mean.
Yeah. He had lots of 6-win seasons. He was fantastic.
Man. 6-10. Come on, Packers. 6-10. 6-10. Let's do it.
Hey.
No little last-second comebacks in Soldier Field to sneak into the playoffs, but luckily we're stomped by the Niners anyway, so...
Yeah, Atlanta Falcon.
Oh, that
anyway.
team.
Anyways.
Yep.
Done with that.
Mm-hmm. So with that, this is spectacular, and I would like you back for the Super Bowl review if you're willing.
We'll call it the Super Bowl Gloat Show.
Yes.
Because we will both be gloating because of our awesome picks.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think that my score is going to be right.
It could be. Was it 24-17, right?
Yep.
And mine's...
yours is a little off. I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's only because it was flashing in front of my face. I got a feeling you're going to be right, too. But I'll have to stick with what I said because it was flashing. So,
hey, if I've learned anything in my years of experience, we'll just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it trust your gut?
Yeah. Yep. My gut or my whatever it was, my eyelids, whatever it was flashing on me. So it's just still flashing right now. I don't know what it is, but. Patriots. So I'm going to be saying these two words for the next 2 weeks every single day until like the final tick. Go Patriots, go Patriots. And yes, Vikings are my favorite team. Don't worry, everybody. It's just I don't know. I like the Patriots and I hate Seattle. So if you want to tell me how Seattle's going to win and how you love that team and you don't like the Patriots, just stay away from me for a couple of weeks and we'll be back. We'll be back in contact after the game. Damn it. That's what I'll say to those people. I'm so mean.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't wait. So with that, I will bid adieu to Dylan Richardson for the time being, and also you're gonna hear from Brent Jacobson starting out the next segment. And Dylan, thanks again so much, and I can't wait to talk about this game next time around.
Oh, it's always fun, Joey. Thanks once again for having me. Can't wait to be on for after the Super Bowl, the Gloat Show, starring Joey and Dylan. Anyways.
That will be spectacular. So we'll be right back. That will be spectacular. I can't wait. And we will be right back right after this.
Shop on Amazon. Did you know that you can support this podcast just by doing your normal shopping on Amazon? It's really easy to do. Just go to thesportstuff.com and click on one of the many Amazon pictures. Do your normal shopping, and Amazon sees that we referred you, and they give us a percentage. We'd like to thank you in advance for supporting thesportstuff.com, and please use our Amazon link. Now enjoy the rest of the show.
We are going round like Saturn.
Contact us and support Purple Mafia by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter. Don't forget to call into our phone lines at 209-736-7877. That's 209-736-7877.
Messages for Joey and Purple Mafia. Forgive me, this might be a little bit over a minute, Joey. I've been doing some thinking, watching the Final Four teams heading into the championship weekend. It's causing placed early Sunday morning before the games. But I'm thinking about this today, the Saturday. You know, the 1998 and 2009 Vikings were kind of built around a win now mindset. Whereas, I hate to actually give them praise here, but the Packers, the Patriots, the Seahawks, a lot of, at least 2 of the 4 Final Four teams are definitely built around long-term, lasting success. Now, drawing the comparison back to the Vikings, I think that's what's going on now is Spielman, Zimmer, and company are building for long-term, sustained success. Enough of us trying to go all in for one season. Let's build to win. Thank you, Joey. Thank you for indulging me for over a minute here. Later, for predictions, Indy over New England, Seattle over Green Bay. I'm out. Bye.
And I thank you so much for that call, Brent. Really do. Yeah, it was slightly over a minute and everything, but that's not a big deal because the point you the point you put across in that call, though, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I couldn't agree more. They're finally about the Minnesota Vikings are finally taking the long-term approach, and it's nice that it's a Viking call, so we can get back to that a little bit, even though it's like January and it's postseason football and it's a lot of fun, and now we're down to just 2 teams left. The 2 teams I picked all along. We'll get back to that in a second, but ultimately here we are. I mean, here we are finally building for the long term. I mean, the Vikings have been plagued with that win-now approach since at least the 80s. Pretty much. I mean, I suppose, drafting Tommy Kramer and kind of going with him for a while, and then really the win-now approach, you could say it started in the 80s, and it definitely did start at the very latest time that we could talk about, when it was a huge shift in approach for the Minnesota Vikings was the Herschel Walker trade. Talk about a win-now approach. I mean, they were all in, baby. They're all in on Herschel Walker, and what did it get them? Well, they turned another team into a dynasty, and Herschel Walker did absolutely nothing. We didn't give up a lot of current players, but we gave up the opportunity to take great players. We probably wouldn't have anyway. God only knows. But hey, maybe we would have taken them. Well, that might be wishful thinking. But anyhow, the win now approach doesn't seem to work. It really doesn't. It works once in a blue moon with certain teams, but did it work out for the Denver Broncos? No. Nope. And John Fox was out of a job there. He is now the head coach of the Chicago Bears, if you can believe that. I'll get to the responses on there. Not sure I agree with anybody this time, which is kind of weird. Usually I'm not so disagreeable, but then again, I'm not going to start anything big because it's just, whatever. He's the Bears coach. It's not like he's our coach or anything. But really, man, that was an awesome call, Brent. I mean, you couldn't have said it better, and it couldn't be a more important thing to say for the Minnesota Vikings right now, to be quite honest. I mean, what's better than knowing that we are on a long-term approach? What's better? Nothing. And that's why the Green Bay Packers have been successful. That's why they could very easily have been in the Super Bowl conversation this week. If not for, we all know what me and Dylan talked about. So what you've been hearing from me and Dylan back and forth. It's just, I mean, we all saw it. Well, maybe not everybody, but most of us saw it. I mean, it doesn't mean they had the wrong approach with their team with the long-term approach. It's a damn good one, because look at that. They're right back in the NFC Championship game again. They had 15-1 record in 2011. Okay, enough with praising the Packers. It's more about praising teams that, they focus on the draft much more on just free agency and getting a guy now. 2009 was awfully fun, man. I mean, it was so fun, but we didn't win. We probably would have won if not for a Green Bay Packers 2015, whatever it was, 2014 season type of performance in the NFC Championship game. If not for a similar type of BS, bounce of the ball, this and that, whatever it is, type of situation, we probably would have won the whole damn thing, because I think the Vikings would have beat the Colts. But anyhow, boy, that call got me going a little bit. It's fun, and it's exciting, and Brent, you are definitely a star candidate for the show. You are a definite star candidate. I'm going to backtrack a teeny bit, because I want to give the comments some respect here, because I was talking about that I'm 8-0 in the playoff predictions. It generated some conversation, not saying, wow, great job, Joey, as much. I'm not worried about that as much as the commentary that was made by the Dave Hickeys and Gerald Strings in here that wouldn't have gotten on this show if I just immediately started with the, how I always do, Purple Mafia episode 190, that type of thing. So I'm going to give you guys some respect and get you on. Gerald Strings saying, Vegas, baby. And then Dave Hickey saying, I was just going to tell you that you better go to Vegas, but Gerald beat me to it. The Colts was a big shocker to me, but Peyton almost always struggles in the playoffs. That's why they play the game. I'm not sure why it was a shocker to you, because, Peyton, if there was a year that Peyton Manning was going to max out his potential as a Denver Bronco at this stage in his career, as much as you may like him and may like the Broncos, it was last year. It was last year, not this year. It just wasn't, unfortunately. There was a chance he could have gone back again, but I don't know. Peyton Manning's not the kind of guy that he loses a Super Bowl, he's right back in the Super Bowl again. he's just not that kind of guy. Tom Brady is. But even he had to wait a couple years here. Oh, and welcome back to the Super Bowl, Tom Brady. I'm going to keep saying it like I'm going to say it all week, like I was saying it all day yesterday with the in the conference championship, or Sunday, whatever day it was, per se. Yeah, Sunday. Of course it was Sunday. But I'm just saying, go Patriots, go Patriots, go Patriots. I mean, that's just all I got to say. Go Patriots. That's the slogan of Palladino Joey right now until the Super Bowl's over, and then we can be back to go Vikings, go Vikings, go Vikings. Anyhow, Gerald String, sorry for being so long about that. Gerald String saying, Joey, please don't pick the the GAY Packers to go to the Super Bowl, and I didn't. I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl. No, I didn't. I picked the Patriots and the Seahawks. I did. And the Patriots and the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. The Packers probably should be in the Super Bowl, but that's on them. That is 100% on them. I'm not even giving the Seahawks as much credit, man, as much as the Packers just blowing the opportunity of a lifetime. But anyhow, already talked about that enough here on the show. He says, as much as Packers go to the Super Bowl, as bad as you hate RS, Richard Sherman, and the Sea Chickens, Seahawks have a great guy as quarterback. Just roll with that. Pats will probably win the Super Bowl anyhow. Yeah. I mean, if you looked at the two teams yesterday, at the way they performed, and yeah, whatever with that inflated football nonsense. If you looked at the way the two teams performed yesterday, I mean, I got a pretty good vibe. Patriots are going to win this thing. I mean, they are the best team in football. Surviving the Baltimore Ravens was just absolutely, that was obviously the main obstacle that the Patriots had to get through, and the way they survived it, there you go. Though some people may say the same thing, the way the Seahawks survived the Packers, but whatever. The Packers got annihilated by the Seahawks at the beginning, back in the beginning of the season. So it's not like the Packers were this huge mismatch problem for the Seahawks until yesterday, Sunday per se. I keep saying yesterday. Should just say Sunday. Gerald String says, I spent some time in the P&W a few years ago. Hasselbeck years. That must be the Pennsylvania. He says so kind of like them. That was the Tennessee Titans, I believe. He says, I was born with a natural instinct to hate the Packers, and that's the way it will always be. No matter, I'm always looking forward to your comments. And thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's not like I'm a huge backer of the Packers. No. The only time I kind of had a soft spot for them was the later years of Favre. Like the 2007 Packers. I had a soft spot for Favre, not really anybody else per se. Not much. I just had a soft spot for them, but sure, I was cheering for the Giants in the NFC Championship game. How can you not? But damn well, to hell with cheering for either one of those teams in the Super Bowl when the New England Patriots were in the Super Bowl back in 2007. I mean, are you kidding me? You think I'm cheering for anybody but the Patriots? No, unless it's the Vikings, of course. The Vikings I would cheer for over the Patriots. Everyone else, I don't know. I don't know about that. Dave Hickey replying to Mr. String, saying, back when Seattle had Dave Craig, there we go, I like this. Back when Seattle had Dave Craig and as quarterback and Steve Largent, they were my second favorite team. And you know what? I could back that team because it's not like they're standing in front of cameras screaming and yelling and spewing all this venom and hate like Richard Sherman does. And at the end of the game yesterday, I got to stop saying that. But yeah, at the end of the game Sunday, Mr. Richard Sherman was a lot more, in the locker room, he was a lot more cordial and respectful than he certainly was last year. I'll give him that, but that's about it. He says, probably none of you guys know them, you're too young. No, I know about them, of course. Especially when we want to talk about Tecmo football, which was the sound at the beginning of the show. You hear it every week now. He says, I do like Wilson, but not Sherman. Yep, even though he's very good, kind of like Rodgers for quarterback. I can't stand them, but they are just that good. You have to respect them. I definitely don't like Pete Carroll. He's a crooked, cheating SOB. Yeah. And it's a star candidate, partially for bringing up the good old days with the Seattle Seahawks, because that's a more likable team. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Even the Warren Moon era, but not so much as Dave Craig was more interesting than Warren Moon, because Moon was already in his 40s. I mean, you're not going to win much when you have a 40-some-year-old quarterback. I mean, it's just a fact, unfortunately. So now we pick up where we left off, ultimately, with check out the show, all that stuff. Mark Carlson says, oh, how many times do I have to hear his name on my favorite podcast? It's bad enough that he's on TV. Worse yet, they let him talk. Even more worse, he has a microphone. Big old ears flapping Sanders, that being Deion Sanders, saying, aha, okay, Joey Wyden and Dylan Richardson, great show, looking forward to Sunday's games. And yeah, I don't blame you for not liking Deion Sanders, especially when he was on the Dallas Cowboys. There was one frickin' year in the past that I liked Deion Sanders, and can you guess what year that was? When he was on the San Francisco 49ers. That's my second favorite NFC team. So there's 3 football teams that I like. Vikings, Patriots, and then the San Francisco 49ers. Mostly because of the really old days with the 49ers, though. But still, it's like, I'm loyal, man. I'm loyal. Unless Richard Sherman signs with them, but maybe I'd even like him for a short while. It'd be nice to see him talking trash to the Seahawks. Okay, just like Deion Sanders was going against Dallas in the NFC Championship game that year. But then, of course, like clockwork, he goes to the Dallas Cowboys and plays the rest of his career there, except for a very short stint with Baltimore much later. Anyhow, Gerald saying, great job breaking down the division championships last week. Fun to listen to. Any thoughts on Jaleel Carter signing with the Vikes? Also, hear a lot about the other Carter, Chris's son, Duran, also having some good success up north in the Canadian League and maybe signing with Minnesota. Then he continues saying, Joey, you and I are going to Vegas 9-0, and spot on the Green Bay and Seattle score. He said, it's like, wow, really. Anyhow, the main thing is I can rest now that the Packers are dead. Unlike you, the only game I care about today is over. I don't care who wins the next game, and just never been a fan of either team. You'll probably pick this game correct also, but I'm kind of pulling for luck. So we'll see. Could I be 10-0? Well, no, you weren't. I'm 10-0, damn it, because I picked the Patriots. Okay, I'm sorry. But no, yeah, it was kind of, that Green Bay game was just something else, and I already talked about that enough earlier, obviously, but definitely interesting, or always fun to interact with you. Duran Carter, well, we'll see. I mean, that could mean that Chris Carter is the guy that's going to be working with Cordero Patterson, the secret former player that could be working with Cordero Patterson, according to Mike Zimmer. We'll see, because somebody's got to whip that guy into shape. Football shape, physically and mentally. I mean, enough's enough. Physically, I'm sure he's in shape enough, per se, but mentally, he's got to get his ass in gear in a big way. Let's continue. Side by side, I posted this up, a new side-by-side of the Metrodome with a new stadium. It's pretty damn cool stuff. I mean, I like some of the photos and videos that were available from the Vikings and KFAN and all that good stuff the past week, and I was sure to post them up there. Boy, a lot of people saw it, apparently. Brent Jacobson donning a Chicago Cubs logo as his profile picture. Very interesting. I didn't notice that. That's kind of cool. He says, when you're standing there looking at the new stadium, you lose appreciation for its size compared to the old Metro Dump. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and obviously it's so early right now, but eventually that thing is going to be bigger, and it's going to look like a ship. That's what's kind of interesting about its its architecture, its design, and all that. And then I say, John Fox, set to become the Chicago Bears coach. Todd Grunlian says so. He's a loser. Hope he's not calling me a loser, but I think he's calling Fox that. Brett McCarthy saying, what has he done? Sebastian Balls saying, White Lovey, as in White Lovey Smith. Malcolm saying, I'm glad I was only scared of Dan Quinn, Todd Bowles, or Gary Kubiak. That's a lot of guys to be scared of, but then again, yeah, Dan Quinn, geez, I mean, well, if any job's still available, maybe, I mean, who knows, but I mean, San Francisco promoted the guy of choice there, the heir apparent, so he's now the head coach in San Francisco. don't have his name in front of me right now, and I'm not going to get into it this second. We'll get to it when it matters. Gary Kubiak's going to Denver. Bowles is going to the New York Jets. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. It might be too late for Dan Quinn to get a job. I can't remember if there's any positions left. I don't think there really are anymore. Gerald String saying, I like Mike Zimmer at this point. Pretty tough to make huge immediate impact in this league, but I think Zimmer did just that with the job he did with our defense. Not to mention that Norv did work with Bridgewater. Bears got a ways to go. Packers and Lions still our biggest challenge in this conference. Yeah, Packers and Lions, yeah. Who knows what the Packers are going to do? It's going to be really interesting to see who emerges out of the NFC next season. Will it be Seattle again? Because I don't know. Can they be like the Patriots and keep going to the Super Bowl all the time? But I don't know. I hope they're not, because I think the Patriots are a lot classier team, a lot easier team to cheer for. Not everybody's going to agree or disagree, but ultimately, yeah. I don't know. I think John Fox is a pretty good coach. I think he's going to make the Bears at least competitive. Will they be as good as Detroit right away? I don't know about that. Probably, definitely not as good as the Packers, unless. Well, I don't know. I doubt it. Obviously, with a guy like Jay Cutler as your quarterback and such a crappy defense, it's going to take time for them to improve. But don't be surprised if they do improve, though. I mean, give him a little credit. He's not that bad. He's a pretty good coach. He's better than Jim Trestman, quite frankly. And then during the game yesterday with the the Packers and Seahawks, I said, seriously, is it the fact that it's sunny out and not cloudy? Are these guys vampires? Who saw this coming? And that was, of course, when the Seahawks were just turning the ball over and killing themselves. Gerald String saying, yes, he can. 10-0. Just one more game to pick. Gee, I wonder who he'll pick. Patriots. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and it's not, and I don't just pick them because I'm just linked to them. Yes, I'm a big fan of the Patriots, but do you see how well they're playing? Do you see how well they've been playing since the third week of the season? We literally jump-started those guys this season after everyone was criticizing and doubting Tom Brady after week 2 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Who jump-started the New England Patriots? The Vikings did, unfortunately. We were the victims of that one. They came in to TCF Bank Stadium and slaughtered the living bleep out of us. Yeah. Anyhow, I posted one more picture. It was seen by quite a few people, but nobody commented on it. It was what do they call it? A time lapse where it starts with the Metrodome still standing and still inflated, going all the way up to today. It's a time lapse, kind of like a really fast slideshow, you could say. It goes over the course of the seasons and stuff, and lots of nasty rainy days and a lot of beautiful days along the way. Lots of beautiful days. I wish we could have more of those, like low humid summer days rather than the hot, humid, or rainy ones. And of course, winter is what it is. I like winter, but not everything about it. I mean, I'll take a nice, sunny, low humidity day over anything, period. Oh, yeah. I would love to live in the Southwest. Oh, it'd be a dream come true for me. Yeah, Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Now, as we switch over to the Twitter account, there's going to be some minutia, some bouncing back and forth. We'll see where things go here. Not sure how much I really want to get into it because a lot of it's in-game stuff for the most part. Me and Justin Day kind of got into off and on conversation throughout the day. Just obviously one of my favorites, Justin in Rochester, Justin Day, without a doubt. He was talking about mostly just like, hey man, it's the Packers. I'll be a Seahawks fan for one day, and I'm like, yeah, hopefully it's just one day, damn it, because go Patriots after this. Because I was talking about how goody, Mr. Big Mouth got the interception and all that good stuff, but they were basically, Justin and others were basically saying, hey, he can be a big mouth if he's picking on Aaron Rodgers. Like, I guess, damn it. I don't like either one of them, so I guess it is what it is. Oh yeah, Justin and I got in a little bit of a conversation here when I was talking about how the Sea Chokes were reminding me of a very familiar team in '98. Justin was saying bullshit, BS, whatever. Well, bullshit. He said it. He said after going down 7-0, we came back and scored, then never trailed until the end of the game. That's true. Ultimately, the team, long term, that might be kind of like the '98 Vikings was the Packers, but I'd almost compare them more to the 2009 Vikings in terms of, like, they absolutely had the game won. They were also on the road, which is tougher to win a game on the road and to play as well as they were on the road than it is at home. Anyhow, he was saying in the context that I was joking, I was insulting our 98 Vikings who at least showed up before they choked. Yeah, and then ultimately the Seahawks showed up in the last 5 minutes, but who could have guessed? So, who saw that coming? So, definitely nothing against Justin on that one. I mean, that was just crazy. Yeah, he was saying the Seahawks think the game starts at 5:30. I guess it started at about that, man. It started about 5 o'clock. And then they frickin' won. Whatever. And I know you're happy that the Seahawks are in instead of the Packers. And yeah, I can understand, because listening to all that BS, like when I hated the Steelers in 2010, listening to all the BS we have to hear forever when the Packers won the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers is like, oh boy, better than Favre already. And it's like, I don't want to hear that. Favre is a more likable guy than Smug Rodgers. Mr. Smug. Mr. Arrogant. You got Mr. Big Mouth in Seattle, and you got Mr. Arrogant in Green Bay. Anyhow, Dallas Deitzenbach and I had a conversation back and forth as well. She was saying she honestly can't watch, but she's reading through it, probably working or busy or something. Then she continues saying, do you ever wonder if your favorite Vikings watch and cheer for a special team? That could be that could be sometimes. Maybe a team that they grew up with, they grew up with, or maybe they used to play for them, something like that. It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised. Like, say, maybe someone grew up in California, like Tom Brady. Maybe he cheers for the San Francisco 49ers if he's out of the playoffs. I wouldn't be too surprised, quite honestly. Like, if somehow he was out, like when he was out of there, maybe he probably cheered for the 49ers over Baltimore. Wouldn't be surprised. Something like that. Aaron Rodgers won't be cheering for the 49ers, though, because obviously they're bitter rivals, and they passed on him. So he basically disowned that franchise for the rest of the time, at least according to him, I would think. Here we go. Viking David saying, I agree, I hate Seattle and don't mind them play like this. Just sucks as Green Bay doing it to them. Yeah, that was the tough part. Oh, that was the tough part about it. And Dallas Deitzenbach saying, we are of same mind. Brady can beat Rodgers too. Yes, and I hope he beats the Seahawks. I think Green Bay would have been a better matchup for... I think Green Bay would have been a better matchup for the Patriots, ultimately. I think Patriots would have beaten the Packers pretty soundly. I don't think the Packers would be able to duplicate what they did against Seattle. But now, can the Seattle duplicate what they did can they duplicate like sucking against the Packers for the longest time? Because they're not going to come back on the Patriots. They just aren't. No frickin' way, damn it. Well, here we go. Adam Carlson of the Purple People podcast saying, I understand wanting to extend the field with deep passes, but it's been crazy. Yeah, because I was saying, Adam was saying, so is Russell Wilson still on the fast track to be one of the top 8 quarterbacks in football? And I was saying it doesn't look good. I never thought I would see him this undisciplined. Yeah, it was an absolute mess. An absolute mess. Yeah, looking for some deep passes, but at the time it was an absolute mess, and then it kind of picked up. Vikings Lifer and I got briefly got a teensy-weensy bit tense because I was saying all the Packers need to do is control the ball basically and run the clock as much as they can. And he took that as like, I'm like, yeah, go, come on Packers, just hang on to the ball and you can get this done. He's like, thanks for letting us know. It's awful enough as it is. He said you got to hate the Packers more than Seattle, though. Seattle let us get Teddy. And then it's like, yeah, that part, sure. Just like the Patriots let us have Cordell Patterson. Unfortunately, that might not work out for us. But Teddy Bridgewater, hell yeah, man. Seattle did help us get Teddy because they were the Super Bowl champions, and they gave us the last pick in the first round. So thank you very much, Seattle, for that. We do appreciate that. And a very good point, Christopher, Viking Lifer. Not sure if he's a listener. I hope so. Regardless, he's going to be a star candidate. Dave Hickey's going to be a star candidate, and Brent Jacobson. Most likely those three are going to get it here, are going to get the stars. Malcolm saying, I've never seen such a lucky team in 2 years straight. Yeah, Malcolm is like me, hates the Seahawks, just can't stand them. And it was a pretty lucky finish, to be quite honest. Vikings fan 1964 says, never go Colts when I continue to say, go Patriots, go Patriots. I said, okay, everybody, get off your Seattle bandwagon and cheer for a classy team. Go Patriots. Yep, that's how I feel. That is how I feel. Justin in Rochester saying done, and then hashtag anybody but Green Bay. I feel you, and Green Bay's out, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. I hear you. He said anybody but Green Bay, so now done. He's off the Seattle bandwagon. Hopefully he's with the Patriots now. Not sure. Would like confirmation if he could let me know. And then Michaela at KK0715 was saying basically me and her had a conversation back and forth how we like the Patriots, and how the time she started liking them was back in she started liking the Vikings in 2009, so she's kind of a late bloomer, even though she's not that young. She's just she's a late bloomer to the Vikings. She's about the same age as Holly Bird out there, but about the same age, same generation there. Yeah, they started liking, she started liking the Vikings in 2009, but yeah, cool. Thanks for the conversation. I really enjoyed that, and she likes the Patriots. They're her second favorite team, so that was cool. That was it was a great time for us, without a doubt. All right, let's pass out the stars. Let's get to this, and let's wrap her up and get on to the big old Super Bowl. Yes, sir. Gold star this week, it's going to go to Brent Jacobson. That was an awesome call, just fantastic, and yeah, the vision of the future of the Vikings franchise, without a doubt. I mean, I love what you had to say there. It was a total thumbs up. Brent Jacobson, gold star. Silver star is going to go to Gerald String. He's going to get the silver star. He's going to get another one of those, and Dave Hickey is going to add to the trophy case yet again with a bronze star. It has been Gerald String, Brent Jacobson, and Brent Jacobson, Gerald String, and Dave Hickey all have a trophy case now of different types of stars, bronzes, golds, and silvers. I mean, they've got all the above, and they were definite welcome pieces to the show this week in a huge way. Thank you so much for the wonderful calls, the comments, the interaction, the support of the show. Thank you all so very much. Do rate Purple Mafia on iTunes. Just simply write a review, or even just give a rating if you're unable to write a review or you don't feel like it. But if you do feel like it, if you're able to, just say very briefly what you like about the show. It could be very small, it could be long, whatever you want to say. And if you hate the show, well, you don't need to review it. You don't need to. You're free to, but you don't need to. We'll just prefer the nice ones. That would be nice, and I'll give you a shout out, and I'll give you a star on the current episode of Purple Mafia, whenever that is. I want to thank you all again so very much. Do tell a friend. Do enjoy the, up and down weather, whatever it is. I don't know what it is anymore. This is the weirdest winter. Every winter's weird, isn't it? Is it a polar vortex? Last year, and then the year before that, it snowed an awful lot. Like, it snowed like crazy the year before that, and it was pretty cold as well, but nothing like last year. It was much colder. We've had winters end in May. We've had winters end. We've had Marches with no snow. I have no idea what kind of year this is going to be. This is probably the weirdest of them all, because it's kind of been both. It's been super cold, and then next thing you know, it's 38 and foggy. What the hell? I don't know. It's been anything but really snowy, though. That's the one thing. Not like last year. Okay, look at me talking about the weather like I always do. It's kind of fun to throw in a little bit of weather conversation at the end, because it's been, it's been kind of a weird winter. And, Turbo Mafia is during like the changes of the seasons. That's what's fun about this show. You see a lot of season changing, but I suppose with every sport you see that, except maybe baseball for the most part. It's mostly summer with baseball. But again, thank you all so much for your support and your kindness and all that good stuff, for telling a friend. And there will be no show next week because it's the Pro Bowl week, no Super Bowl or anything. I get to take a week off from Purple Mafia, and it's going to be nice to take a break, because it's been like every single week since sometime in August. That's a long time to be doing the same show, except for the bye week, which of course was during the lawn cleanups anyway, so it's not like I was like resting or anything. And it's not like this show is tiring. It's just, it's nice to at least take a week off, kind of maybe get my bearings back and perform better. Sometimes you got to step away a little bit and perform better. And I personally have nothing against the Pro Bowl. I'm not a big watcher of it, per se. I'm not like somebody that's like, oh my God, the Pro Bowl is the greatest thing ever. But at the same time, these people coming on Twitter saying, we don't like your effing Pro Bowl, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, come on, take it easy. Do you really... do you really think they're just going to cancel the Pro Bowl because everyone effing hates it? nah, they're not going to cancel the Pro Bowl. These guys earned the right to go to Hawaii and enjoy, being recognized as one of the best players in the league the past year. So it is what it is. Every sport's got to have an all-star game. Yeah, they're all boring and they all have their meh, qualities to them. But they're all going to be there if we like it or not. So it is what it is. So again, no show next week, but we'll be back to review the Super Bowl. And that will be a very fun show, hopefully, and not a pissed-off show like I was last year. But but then again, Denver sucks anyway. So, okay, they don't suck. They sucked in that game. Sorry about that, Gerald. I know that's your second favorite team. All due respect there. I do apologize. Big apology for that one. So, thank you again for listening, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.